Your morning blitz begins now.
Hey, welcome to your Tuesday. It's going to be a little bit cooler today. A high of only 66, and we could see some rain showers later. I have looked forward to every single morning that I've come in to do the show with you two. But lately, I don't know, it was about maybe 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago, that you created a new show open for us, Thick.
Oh, yeah.
And ever since then, the biggest smile goes on my face when Kelly bounces to the boing, 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 boing,
boing, boing, boing, boing.
happy. And every morning, she just bounces. Boing, 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 boing.
I had to put the aliens in because you and I realized that they were both of us, they were our favorite Sesame Street characters.
Yes.
You know.
Radio.
Which, by the way, Netflix is saving Sesame Street.
Yes.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah. Netflix is going to pick it up and continue after 56 years, I think it was.
So will they produce more or just run the old ones? Do you know? I don't know. I didn't read that far.
Hold, please.
Hold, please.
I had it right here.
Why would PBS stop running Sesame Street?
I think it's a money issue.
Cost, yeah. Hold on. There is. Let's see. Sesame Workshop was in business with Warner Brothers. So the deal, the episodes will wouldn't air on PBS until months after the debut on HBO and Max. But now new episodes of Sesame Street will air on PBS the same day they hit Netflix. Sesame Street begins its 56th season later this year. So yes, we will have new episodes.
So what do we got on Sesame Street? Big Bird, Oscar the Grouch,
Cookie Monster,
Bert
Cookie Monster, Bert and Ernie,
Kermit, Mr. Snuffleupagus.
No, Kermit was the Muppets.
Kermit wasn't on Sesame Street?
No, he was the Muppets.
Is that right?
Yes,
That's
that's right.
right.
Oh, my gosh.
Kermit, Miss Piggy, Fonzie, Gonzo, Waka Waka Waka.
Fozzie Bear.
Yeah, those were all Muppets.
I thought Kermit was on Sesame Street.
You are incorrect.
Wow.
Say it one more time, and we'll tell you yet again. You are incorrect.
I just blown
because
away
you
right
repeat
now.
it doesn't mean it's going to change. No. Who else? Yes, the aliens on Sesame Street.
All right.
I'm trying to think of who else.
It's been a while.
It has been a while. How are you, Kelly?
No, okay. I'm fine. But I do think Kermit was on Sesame Street, now that I'm thinking about it. Wasn't he?
Oh, did I say it enough times?
No, Kermit was on the Muppets.
All right. We got to get to
Kermit is a Muppet who was on Sesame Street.
They're all
though.
Muppets.
They're all Muppets.
No! Sesame Street and Muppets are separate.
I don't think so.
But they're
I don't
all-
think so.
that's
What
what-
about Miss Piggy?
There's Kermit sitting on Sesame Street. He's all over Sesame Street. What are you talking about? So is Elmo.
No.
Yes.
Kermit was on Sesame
I'm
Street
looking
for
at-
one season.
All right.
So Rebecca says, think is right. Kermit was on Sesame Street for one season. One season doesn't count.
But was
All
he
right,
on?
but
Was
then
that where he
the Muppet
came
Show
from?
came. Then right? The Muppet Show happened. Didn't
Yes.
it? And then that's where we got the two
Waldorf,
old... Oh, I love those
Waldorf
guys.
and Standard and Waldorf, whatever their names are.
Yeah, I love those guys.
Kermit was born in 1955.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with Sesame Street.
He came out on Sesame Street before the Muppets.
I don't think so.
He came out on
again,
Sesame
wait,
Street.
again, maybe on, like I said, maybe made an appearance, not what he's known for.
Okay.
A lot of people are texting in. But the count
Oh,
was
the
great.
count. Oh, I love
A
the
one.
count.
Yes, the count was great. Anyways, we got to get to Bliss Morning Trivia. Let's ask the question, was Kermit on Sesame Street?
No. I just, in my head, it's all the same. Muppets, Sesame Street. I
Right.
understand what the show.
Muppet Babies?
Muppet,
the cartoon?
Right.
You never saw the nanny's face, you saw her legs?
Right.
Yes.
All right, let's see if we can get somebody $25 to water beds and stuff. If you're the first one to text in the correct answer at 99700. What famous YouTuber is being sued by the Mexican government? What famous YouTuber is currently being sued by the Mexican government? Tell us first at 99700. We'll hook you up with that gift card.
All right, let's get that answer for Blitz Morning Trivia. Thick, what you got?
We asked what famous YouTuber is being sued by the Mexican government, and the answer is maybe the most famous, Mr. Beast.
Oh, by far the most famous, yeah?
Absolutely massive. They claim he violated the terms of his archaeological permit for the Mayan pyramids by advertising his snack brand and profiting from the, quote, heritage that belongs to all Mexicans. Published this month, he said, I explored 2,000-year-old ancient temples. The popular social media influence promotes his Feastables chocolate peanut butter cup snack.
I don't understand.
Yeah,
this.
what did he do? I don't understand.
He calls the snack a special Mayan dessert and the only Mayan-approved snack on the planet in this video while he's there at the pyramid.
So he's there at the pyramids.
Yes.
And he says it's the only Mayan-approved snack.
Yes.
In a video.
Yes.
And the Mexican government is suing him over that.
Yes.
He didn't smear the peanut butter.
Right, exactly. I thought maybe he made like a giant tarp and threw it over the pyramids with a logo to promote his chocolate. He was just in a video and said...
Yes, the Mexican authorities said he was given a permit to film at the sites, which includes the pyramid, but the permit did not include commercial use. A rep from Mr. Beast fired back saying no advertising material was shot on any archaeological sites. So they're suing him. Doesn't mean they're going to win. You can sue anybody. Doesn't mean you're going to win, but...
Okay.
So, I mean, I don't know, man.
That's weird.
Are you not? Maybe you're just not allowed to advertise a product while you're on the grounds. I don't know.
If you go to the temples, don't promote your business.
Right.
Don't pull a Jolly Rancher out of your pocket.
Right,
Somebody's going to sue you.
Well, I mean, to call it Mayan approved, I think that's probably what put them over the edge as far as when I sue him.
But I hear satire.
Yeah, I know.
Hyperbole. Anything like that.
Anyway, Broderick Millizer was the first person to text in the correct answer from Lancaster, and he's got $25 to spend at Waterbeds and Stuff.
Congratulations, Broderick. We are coming up on the end of the school year. In fact, a lot of colleges have already graduated, and they're doing their ceremonies, and I hope you picked the right major if you're trying to make some money, because Fortune.com just released a list of the college degrees that will earn you the least amount of money walking out the door. You grab that diploma, you're on to your adult life, and you're earning the least amount of money. Number one on the list, majoring in a foreign language. Like I majored in French. Why? Good luck with that. General social sciences. Like you want to be like a teacher's aide or a youth counselor. Least amount of money. Performing arts. Anthropology. Early childhood education. How is early childhood education, like one of the most important things we can do as a human species, the least paying?
Look at the listings for preschool teachers. You're making maybe what you'd make at Target.
Right, yeah.
Considering what they charge now.
Yeah, a couple dollars over minimum wage, maybe. Also on the list, general education. Again, how is any form of education on this list?
Pitiful.
Makes no sense.
Pitiful.
Biological sciences, like research assistant or a lab tech, making the least amount of money. And theology and religion is also, if you major in theology and religion, making the least amount of money. All of these jobs, about $40,000 a year. If you're getting a college degree, and walking out at about $40,000 a year.
That's insane.
I'm just reading the list. Don't kill the messenger. Just telling you. 99.7 The Blitz.
Not so breaking news. The news already broke. We're trying to put it back together.
All right, our first story takes us out to Los Angeles, and I've heard of stories like this, and I've also been around places that have done something like this. There's a barbershop in downtown Los Angeles that has decided to kind of take care of the loiterers and the homeless that are hanging around his business. And he has decided to do so by playing Baby Shark on a speaker over and over and over and over again.
Ugh.
So it annoys the loiterers and the homeless people did not hang outside of his business. Take a listen. Now, Thick, you had an important question about that clip.
Well, because that sounds like you're hearing it from inside the barbershop. You're hearing the razor going and they're talking. And
right.
I don't want to hear it the whole time I'm getting my hair cut.
Right.
So I don't know if you can hear that while you're in there.
That's a valid question. Like, if that's playing while I'm getting my hair cut to deter the homeless or the loiterers, then you're just losing my business.
You're going to deter me from coming in.
That's ridiculous. I will never come to your business.
Because there's no way I'm going to walk in, hang out for 15 minutes while you're finishing up your previous customer, and then get my hair cut for whatever it is, 20, 30 minutes, hearing this song over and over again.
Have you heard of them blasting classical music outside like 7-Eleven?
See, that's what I heard when I was in Denver. They used to do that. They would play classical music.
You'll get my business that way. I want to get my hair cut to classical music, 100%.
Really?
Oh my gosh, yes. I will purposefully do extra haircuts to have that type of atmosphere.
Okay.
Yeah, I love classical music, though.
And I know that there have been different songs they've used, but again, if you're hearing it while you're inside as a customer, ugh.
They say they did Barry Manilow for torture purposes or something. I'm like, bring it on, baby. Bring it on. Copacabana.
You're not giving
I want
up
an appointment
any info.
Today.
Our second story takes us out to Washington, D.C. because this is quite interesting. If you've ever dealt with a porch pirate, it's very, very annoying. I've never dealt with a porch pirate before. Kelly, have you ever taken something off your porch? No? Thick?
Once. Yeah.
What'd they get?
They got a Shinedown poster that I ordered for my son.
A poster?
A poster.
Did it come in the tube?
I don't know.
Oh, fair enough.
I'm assuming.
Right.
You know.
But if I'm going to be a porch pirate, I'm not running up and stealing a cylinder tube. Yeah. There's no way.
It might be Mr. Brady's architecture plans.
Right. True. Well, this is a porch pirate with a conscience because there's in Washington, D.C., days after a package showed up, it contained a $1,200 doctoral cap and gown from George Mason University. So someone's getting ready to graduate with their doctorate from George Mason University, and you have to order your cap and gown. $1,200. Well, it mysteriously disappeared, and then there were social media posts about it all across that area. And then 2 days later, the delivery showed back up on the porch. The porch pirate must have seen the story and then returned the delivery. So they were not out of their $1,200.
Wow.
And they say this has got to be the first instance they've heard of where they've come across a porch pirate who has actually given the items back.
This is the first instance I've ever come across where a cap and gown costs $1,200.
Right?
That is nonsense. Go to a Halloween store and say you want to dress up as a graduate, get the right color, and spend $70.
Was it what kind was it? Did it say? Was it some special cap and gown?
It was just a doctoral cap and gown. It was for your doctorate degree.
Pass.
I did not know that cap and gown was $1,200.
It's not. It should never be. That is ridiculous.
Is it specially embroidered?
That's what I was
something?
wondering.
Like, what is it that makes the cap and gown $1,200? Because that's insane. I just paid how many thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for my doctoral PhD degree.
It should come with the degree.
Right.
Free.
Right. Give me the cap and gown for free. There's no way I'm paying another $1,200. Can I just roll that into my student loans? Like, how does that work out?
These colleges, man.
You know what's free is skipping the graduation and just picking up your diploma later.
That, too. I don't want to sit there for 500 names walking across the stage for my 2 seconds of shaking a hand and picking up a piece of paper.
I'm a doctor. You know I'm a doctor. They know I'm a doctor. I'll pick up that degree later.
100%. 99.7 The Blitz. All right, so a friend of mine was on social media and posted a very interesting question that I want to propose to the both of you. And he said, what are the 3 most important movies of the 90s? And it's a valid question because importance can mean a lot to a lot of people. And I want to know what you think. 800-821-9970. Give us a call. What are the 3 most important movies in the 90s? Now, I'm going to give you 2 of them because he posted 2 of them. And I would have to think that we can all agree that when it comes to importance, these are 2 of the most important movies in the 90s. And the 2 that he posted were Pulp Fiction and The Matrix. And I think you would have to agree that those are 2 of the most important movies in the 90s because they basically changed culture and the way movies are and can be made. Pulp Fiction in its storytelling, the way that it kind of starts at the end and then kind of jumps around with 3 different stories and the way you can intertwine stories. And 2 words for The Matrix, bullet camera. That changed the way movies are made. When Neo falls backwards, waving his arms in slow-mo, and the 360 camera goes all the way around while the bullets are slowly flying by. They called it the bullet camera. That was the first time it was ever used, and that kind of changed the way movies can be made.
You move like they do.
Right. So, what is the 3rd most important movie of the 90s? 800-821-9970 or 99700. And Thick and I were talking about this before the show started. And then when you came in, Kelly, we had proposed the question to you. And you were like, oh, I got one. And I have a feeling the way you got excited, it could be the same movie that Thick said before you got into the studio.
Okay, well, I'll let you go first then.
No. Because I didn't decide that. I just said, well, is this an important movie? Is that an important movie? You picked one, so
well,
you take
I've got 2, and I feel like I could make a case for both.
Okay.
Oh, gosh, which one do I want to choose to be my number 1? I'm going to say The Sixth Sense. Because it really showed us that we can actually be there can be a surprise ending. And that the public at large was pretty good at keeping the secret from people who hadn't seen it yet. Because I remember I didn't see it the first weekend. I saw it on down the road. I had no clue how that movie was going to end. I was as surprised as the person who saw it first.
Okay, that's a good one. A surprise ending.
Yeah, I feel like it really did sort of, show us that movies can be written in a way that we can actually be surprised.
Okay. It also showed us that you can write an amazing, groundbreaking movie your first time out.
Yes.
And then just crap the bed the rest of your career.
Tank.
Because M. Night Shyamalan, Ding Dong, has not made a good movie since then. So, that's a good one. What's your second one?
Yeah, what was the other one?
The other one was Jurassic Park.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. Someone texted in Jurassic Park.
Okay.
And again, that also changed the way movies are made.
I sort of feel like it sparked an interest in STEM, sciences, and can this actually happen? And
not only that, but CGI changed forever after Jurassic Park.
There's
a great series on Netflix called The Movies That Made Us. And Jurassic Park, they take a deep dive into different movies. And Jurassic Park is one of the movies they take a deep dive into, and it's really cool to see the way they made that movie.
Yeah.
That's a really good one. Thick, which one was yours?
So, because you and I discussed what makes a movie important, and we talked about cultural change and how movies are made and everything. And one of the biggest movies, it's not one of my best movies of the 90s, but Pretty Woman was pretty huge.
Yeah,
and it changed how people looked at prostitution in a major way, and it's not real. Well, it did. No. Don't misunderstand me. Not that it was okay or anything like that, but it took a lighthearted look at it. It didn't put it in a light that it was this horrible, terrible thing. So that to me was a cultural thing. Forrest Gump is another one.
Forrest Gump for sure.
And I mean, there's so many, man.
So, a couple.
Where you could put Schindler's List?
Well, someone said Schindler's List. Who texted in Schindler's List here for its historical storytelling? Have to agree there. Shannon said that.
Yes.
Forrest Gump's coming through. Yeah. Lisa says The Shawshank Redemption. That could be up there. Again, that's a very popular movie.
Right. Yeah, because it's not like, the best movie. It's the most important movie.
Gavin says Armageddon. Okay, space fight movies.
Yeah.
I can kind of see it.
I don't know.
Okay, if you're going to make a case for Pretty Woman, you got to let this person have that.
Yeah, I don't know. I just
you
brought
did not like Pretty Woman as a choice.
No,
Again, it wasn't my choice. He said important movies. I said, okay, well, Pretty Woman is one of the biggest movies in the 90s, but was it an important movie? I don't know if it is or not.
A couple of people are texting in Titanic. I can totally see.
That's a big one.
That is a big one.
I mean, girls went to that movie 10 times in a row.
For like epic disaster movies.
For epic disaster.
Love stories.
Yeah.
And historical.
Because, love stories. It's not the first love story, obviously, ever in movies.
Watching the Titanic sink was quite epic.
It was.
It was, and I hate that movie. I'm on record for many years. That is one of the worst movies I've ever sat through in my life.
That is insane to me.
But, I mean, worst in terms of making me sit on my butt for 3+ hours.
Right.
No, not interested. And I didn't like the love story part of it. I thought it was stupid and hokey.
So you just wanted the movie to start, and then the boat hits the iceberg, and then everybody dies. You wanted a sitcom, 29-minute.
I honestly didn't buy Leo DiCaprio or Kate Winslet. I really like both of them as actors. I just didn't like that part of the story. I don't know.
After watching the movie, you didn't lay on the couch looking at Charlie going, paint me like one of your French girls.
No, that's so stupid. No. That whole scene was so dumb. So dumb. But anyway, it was an epic disaster movie, and I think the way it was shot, it was huge.
But Kathy Bates was phenomenal as
Okay,
Molly
I'll
Brown.
give you that. I'll give you that.
Incredible.
I really liked her.
9918 text in and said American History X. What a great movie. That one, that's up there.
Yeah, another one I was going to say is American Beauty. I think that is a phenomenal movie, and it covered so many different spectrums.
It did.
So many different phobias, I will say.
Someone also texted in terms of American Pie.
Yeah.
Changing the teenage movie genre forever.
Yeah.
You just
American Pie could be that third movie.
Yeah, I mean, how do you pick one? That's tough.
It is absolutely tough. We got into this, too. This is another one that's come across. 1129 text in. Goodfellas.
That would be my third movie as my favorite.
Right.
That
that's
is one of my all-time favorite movies.
That's the thing. The favorite, because I agree.
Yeah.
But the first gangster movie?
Is it
not at all.
No.
Is it as good as The Godfather 2? I think it's better than The Godfather 2.
I do, too. Thank you for saying it first.
Yes. I think it's better than The Godfather 2.
I mean, as far as entertainment goes, I'll take it over all of them.
All right, Anthony put out there Thelma and Louise. I agree with that. That was like a female buddy movie.
Yes.
You never really had a female buddy movie.
You are correct.
And then it ended in such a crazy way. That's a good choice, Thelma and Louise.
We've got this post on our Facebook page. Olin said Big Lebowski. I don't know.
As a game changer, I don't know.
Christopher's got toss-up.
The dude abides.
Yeah.
All right.
Christopher's got it's a toss-up between American Beauty and Twister. Did Twister change things the way we looked at tornadoes?
Flying cows.
No, but we've got cows. But it did change CGI, like
yes, again,
Jurassic Park did for sure. All valid arguments. If you want to get in on it, we've got it on our social media page. You can check it out. It's 98.7 The Blitz.
And now, all right, I'm listening.
3 things you need to know before you go.
Columbus SWAT officers shot and killed a man last night during a hostage situation just north of Easton. Police called to an apartment on Hampton Woods Drive in Strawberry Farms at about 9:30 last night on a report of a man threatening a woman. And when they arrived, the suspect allegedly fired at officers and then took the woman hostage. After more than an hour of negotiations, the man reportedly tried to leave and was shot and killed when he pointed his gun toward officers. Another inmate has been captured from that big jailbreak in New Orleans last week. Out of the 10 inmates who escaped, 4 have now been recaptured. The men pulled a defective cell door off its tracks and escaped through a hole in the wall behind a toilet and a sink unit, but not before leaving a snarky message on the wall that said, quote, "Too easy, LOL." Hundreds of officers are searching. Well, this comes as the city of New Orleans is under some scrutiny over a Washington Post article that was published yesterday that for 2 years, the city has been secretly using facial recognition technology to constantly scan the city's streets to identify suspects or wanted persons. So of the city's 5,000 cameras, 200 have facial recognition technology. And according to a city ordinance, facial recognition is only to be used to look for a specific violent criminal. It's not as an overall tracking and surveillance tool. But the city of New Orleans, for 2 solid years, up until April of this year, was using this facial recognition software constantly. It was constantly scanning city streets. It was automatically pinging officers' cell phones. They all have an app on their phone, I guess, and that would relay like the names and the current locations of possible matches. Problem is, this technology has been shown to not be really reliable when it's searching for people of color, for women, or for older people.
Oh, and because I'm sitting here kind of scrunch-faced, like, what's the problem? If you're looking for a murderer or a child rapist,
yes, you're allowed to use it then.
Right.
That's
why wouldn't you?
Absolutely permissible. However, you're not allowed to just constantly be scanning Bourbon Street and scanning everyone as if we are all potentially suspects. Like, it does violate public privacy in a way, even according to their own city charter.
I understand. Yeah, okay.
I don't want to be surveilled on the streets of Columbus. Don't constantly surveil me. I'm not doing anything wrong. If you're looking for...
Okay, I'm devil's advocate, then what are you worried about? If you're walking down High Street from top to bottom and cameras are on you...
Right.
You're not being surveilled. They're looking for other people.
You are. Your face is in that facial recognition software now. Like everybody is being surveilled. And they also arrested dozens of people over the last 2 years.
Now, that's a problem.
It's only supposed to be used for violent criminals.
Right.
And they have arrested people for non-violent crimes.
I disagree with that.
Okay.
But if you catch a child rapist walking down High Street...
Yes, you're allowed to do that.
Then what's the problem? But the only way you can do that is if everyone is surveilled.
That's not true. You can say, here is a person we're looking for, and this is the face we're looking for.
Okay, but the cameras are going to look at everyone's face looking for that person.
But okay, so there are protocols that you can't scan a face unless you have a still picture of the person. I don't know. It's odd.
It's very odd. And it is a paper-thin line.
To say
I get it.
That, what are you worried about? You're not doing anything wrong? I don't like that argument for being surveilled. I don't like it at all.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
Look through all my stuff. I'm not doing anything wrong. I don't have anything to hide. Any attorney will tell you absolutely never, ever even speak to a police officer. Don't say a single word before you call an attorney. And you may have done nothing wrong. You're still not supposed to.
Agree with you. Okay.
You have to protect your own privacy at all costs. For me.
True. I don't know. Agreeing with you.
I guess we could debate. And I'm not very well versed on this facial recognition.
I'm not either. I agree.
It's an overreach on the city.
Now, we've had the discussion before about Big Brother's always watching. I mean, targeted ads, they're listening.
Right. Yeah.
And so what's the line of finding the people doing stuff wrong
right.
versus people who aren't doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
Mixed in, with the people who are doing things wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, anyway, this is a whole huge debate we could have for probably an hour, but I'll end it here because I don't know what I'm talking about. Those are your three things.
All right.
It's the Morning Blitz with Goose, Kelly, and Thick.
Time is gone. It's the time. Time after time. Good times.
Yeah, it's time to play the Time Warp. We've got tickets up for grabs for Stained and Breaking Benjamin. If you want to take a trip down to Cincinnati, the Riverbend Music Center this Sunday, we want to hook you up with tickets. It's very simple. Thick has compiled an audio clip for us. And it's got a montage, if you will. It's got 3 clips in it. And it could be 3 clips of anything. TV, movie, music, commercials, news stories. But here's the deal. All of them took place in 1 year. You guess the year correct, you win the tickets. Let's get ourselves a contestant. Blitz, good morning. Hello, who's this?
This is Eric.
Eric. Good morning, Eric. Here's the deal. We've got the clip ready to go. After we play the clip, we will give you a choice if you want to take a first stab at the year or if you want Kelly and I to take a first stab at the year. And then we'll see who gets closest or maybe right on the dot and see who wins. All right, Eric?
All right.
All right. Thick, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Let's go with the Time Warp clip.
The one constant through all the years, Ray, has been baseball.
Can I do that?
Oh, okay.
Well, I know the first clip. What is the first clip?
That's the...
wait, don't say it. I want to see if Eric,
okay.
Do you want to take a first stab at the year, or do you want to wait for Kelly and I to take a stab at it?
I'll let you guys go first.
Okay. Kelly, I think I've usually jumped in on this one when we play this game, so I'm going to let you go first, Kelly.
Do you need to hear it again?
The first one's Field of Dreams.
That's what it is.
The second one is Family Matters. And then the third, I am, oh, she's around. Okay. What's the song?
You don't know? Firewoman?
Firewoman?
The Colt.
The Colt.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Field of Dreams. Okay. I think, was it the early 90s? I'd never watched Family Matters. So this is going to be a complete stab in the dark, Eric. All right? So take this for what it's worth. I'm going to say 1991. That's my guess.
Remember the TV show is the year it debuted.
Right.
Okay.
Well, Kelly, you're an SOB because you stole my guess.
No kidding.
I wrote down 1991 because I know Family Matters was the early 90s. I know that the Colt, I wanted to say 89, 90, but I was like, I think it's a little bit later than I originally thought, so I think it's 91. And Field of Dreams, yes. So I'm going to, well, you stole 91, so I'm going to have to go 1990. Eric, do you have a guess? Field of Dreams, Family Matters, The Colt, Firewoman. For the Time Warp, do you have a guess as to what year it was?
I think you guys are a little late. I'm going to go 89.
Oh, he's going a little earlier.
All right.
89.
Okay, I don't hate that guess at all.
All right, Thick, I have to assume we got all 3 clips correct, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Field of Dreams, Family Matters, and Firewoman by the Colt.
For Stained and Breaking Benjamin tickets for Eric, what year is this year's Time Warp?
All 3 of those came out in 1989.
Eric!
Way to go, man!
That's a great guess.
Good job, Eric. We have got you tickets to Stained and Breaking Benjamin. You're going to have to take yourself a little road trip down to Cincinnati this Sunday, okay?
Not a problem.
All right, awesome. You hang on 1 second. We'll get info for you. 99.7 The Blitz. All right, I gotta do a couple shout-outs, and one of them being to you, Thick, because you were almost a very, very important part of my life yesterday.
Oh, just almost.
Yeah, almost. Well, no, I'm glad you weren't. Let me say that.
Okay.
I am so glad you weren't. Because yesterday, I was running some errands after the show, and I got done earlier than I thought, and it was 71 and sunny, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to go golfing. I was so excited that I yet again forgot about our Monday meetings at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, right in the middle of the afternoon. So there I am trying to listen to the boss while making par putts and putting my phone down. And you guys are having important conversations.
Yeah, we heard you get upset about a shot.
I did.
Oh, yeah. What was the expletive that was uttered? I forget.
We can't say it.
It was
DMF or something like that. Yeah. It was along those lines.
Yeah, for sure. But after I went golfing, I went to grab some food over at the Red Door Tavern there, right around the block on 5th here, because they've got $9 burgers on Mondays. A burger and fries for $9. Why not? And it's a good burger.
Yes, it is.
And I am 83% through my burger, and all of a sudden, this horrible cramping situation in my stomach starts happening.
Is it the hibachi cramp?
It was the hibachi cramp.
Okay.
And there are about 5 people in this bar, and they're all sitting around the bar. And I always sit on the far side of the bar, away from the bathrooms. And so I get up.
Oh, you did a perp walk?
Oh, my God. I know for a fact the people sitting at the back end of the bar right next to the bathroom heard the machine gun. Oh, my God. And I'm walking to... I was this close thinking to myself, I'm going to have to call Thick and tell him, dude, you got to bring me sweatpants to the Red. I was going to have to call Thick and be like, dude, you need to come to the Red Door Tavern and bring sweatpants. And Thick was going to say why, and I was going to say, shut up, grab sweatpants, get in your car, and come to the Red Door Tavern right now. It was so close to happening. And I fingers crossed, man, I hope you would do that, because I would do that for you.
I would absolutely.
Okay, good.
Yes, I would have been there, and I live close.
Yeah.
No problem.
I would have brought you my lady sweatpants.
I couldn't fit one leg into a pair of your sweatpants, Kelly. There is no way. But thankfully, everything was fine.
Jeez.
But I do have to also shout out Chad, who, after some discussion, they found out what I do for a living, and they're like, wait a minute. You're Goose from the Blitz, right? And I was like, yeah. He goes, this is so strange because Chad at Burns Pub was sitting next to you Sunday night. No? You weren't at Burns Pub on Sunday night?
No.
Saturday night?
No.
Any night at Burns Pub?
No.
Somebody's trying to get free booze by using your name.
No.
Yes.
No. Come on. Seriously?
I swear to God, Chad was like, I was just hanging out with Thick the other night at Burns Pub.
No.
I swore it was Sunday night.
I don't know that I've ever been to Burns Pub.
Have you been anywhere with a man named Chad?
No. Oh, my gosh. Are you serious? Are you being serious right now?
100%
We need
serious.
Chad to call in and say if this fake Thick Rick was trying to get free stuff. I need to know this right now.
No way. Really? Never at Burns Pub.
All I heard is somebody out there is pretending to be me, so I've made it.
Okay, yeah. I also have to shout out Sean, who sat down next to me, loves the show, saw the on-air and saw the Michigan Tats.
I knew who you were immediately.
And was like, you're Goose, aren't you? And we had a great conversation. We did a little shoddy shot together. Sean, what's going on, man? I can't shout out his business. I told him I wouldn't shout out his business. But
okay.
Yeah, but Sean, what's up? It was a great night. Almost a terrible night turned into a great night.
But seriously. Yes. He's certain he was with me. I don't think I've ever been to Burns Pub.
He's certain he was with you.
I definitely wasn't there over the weekend. I definitely haven't been there. If I was there, it was so long ago I don't remember.
Okay. Well,
that's weird, man.
He shouted you out.
That is weird.
Who's the imposter Thick Rick? Now I want to know. It's 99.7 The Blitz. All right, growing up, we all had silly things that scared us. You're not rational when you're a child, so Anything can scare you. What was your childhood fear? 800-821-9970 or 99700. Kelly, do you remember your childhood fear?
Okay, is this kind of childhood fear? I was a teenager.
Oh, a teenager?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was afraid. Okay. Do you remember the whole backmasking in music?
Yes.
Like they put devil messages? Yes. So we took the Styx Paradise Theater album, and they said there was backmasking in the song Snowblind. So we did it. We rolled it backwards on our record player, and I swear to you, and I cannot tell you what it was, but it was something having to do with the devil that I could swear on a Bible I heard them say. I'm quite sure that it wasn't there, whatever. But I was terrified. I screamed. I ran downstairs, and I'm like, I'm not going back upstairs. No way. The devil is in that record.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
To this day, it makes me uneasy because I was so sure that I heard something about Satan or something like that. Of course, I was expecting to hear something. I'm sure that. So I was afraid of that.
Yeah.
Music-wise, I was afraid of backmasking. I was getting some kind of devil messages.
Playing the record backwards.
Yeah, and I don't want to say it was a humongous fear, but that particular incident scared the absolute crap out of me.
Okay.
So, as somebody who has played with audio for over 30 years, I've put songs on reel-to-reel tapes back in the day and played it backwards to see. And there is a section of Stairway to Heaven by Zeppelin where it absolutely sounds like he is saying, "Here's to my sweet Satan." Without a doubt.
Okay.
It sounds so much like that was put in there. But there are so many things, when you turn them around, you'll hear things.
Right.
And I don't think any of them are intentional.
Right.
800-821-9970. What was your irrational childhood fear? Blitz, good morning. Who's this?
This is John.
John, what was your irrational childhood fear?
I was scared of my grandma, but there was a reason for it. She lived with us in the basement, and I would hear her snore at night, and I was 100% convinced it was a bear.
Let me tell you.
It didn't make sense to me that she could make that type of sound at night. It terrified me.
I completely agree with you because we lived in a very small house. My room and my mother's room, parents' room shared a wall. My mother, you could hear outside of the house snoring. It was unbelievable. So I totally get it. I love that. Thank you for the call, man. Blitz, good morning. Blitz, good morning. Hi, who's this?
Hey, what's up, Deuce? This is Tony, my man. How you doing?
Good, Tony. What was your childhood fear, man?
Hey, dude, to be real honest with you, I was kind of like a badass kid. So
we can't say that on the radio, Tony, but I appreciate you calling, man.
Kim said her childhood fear was quicksand. I'm sure it was from all the cartoons we saw about quicksand.
Can we all agree that growing up, we swore quicksand was going to be a bigger deal than it really is?
Watch out for quicksand.
It just kind of went away.
Absolutely. Blitz, good morning. Hi, who's this?
Hey, this is Josh.
Josh, what was your irrational childhood fear?
So when I was younger, I lived on a farm, and we had a smaller barn, and I always thought E.T. lived in that barn. So I would, yes.
You were afraid of the feds?
Yes, well, yeah. But no, I'd have to walk by this barn to get to the bus stop, and I would be terrified every morning and every day after school.
But E.T. is so nice.
Yeah.
Well, he isn't when you're a kid.
That's true.
It's terrifying.
It's scary.
Yeah, I get it.
Jennifer says she was afraid of lightning bugs.
Appreciate the call, man. Thank you so much. What else you got, Kelly?
Jennifer said lightning bugs. Dan said he was irrationally afraid of the Highway to Hell album cover.
Bon Scott with the horns coming out of his head.
Yeah.
Blitz, good morning. Hi, who's this?
Tim.
Tim, what was your irrational childhood fear?
So we grew up in a household that had National Geographic, Time Life magazine.
Yeah.
And in the early 80s, they did an article about artificial hearts. and I hid the magazine. I thought I was gonna have a heart attack.
As a child?
Yes.
That's great. Like, oh my God, I'm a little kid. I'm going to have a heart attack. That is funny. You were worried you were going to get an artificial heart.
Wow.
Yes, and hid the magazine.
That's hysterical.
On those same lines, I read the book Go Ask Alice when I was 13, and it made me so sick. I thought I was going to pass out because this 15-year-old becomes drug addicted, and these people are like constantly getting little kids addicted to drugs in this book. And I was so weak, I had to call my mom. I go, Mom. And I go, please take that book out of my room. Like, I can't have it near me. And I obsessed about, like, my sisters getting slipped drugs for years because of that book. Hey, Go Ask Alice. It was horrifying.
Just say no. 1-800-821-9970 or 99-700. What was your irrational childhood fear? I want to know what it is. 99.7 The Blitz. Your irrational childhood fear. As kids, sure enough, we yell and scream and get afraid and cry of some pretty silly things. What was yours? Kathy's on the phone. Kathy, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm great. How are you?
Excellent. Thank you, Kathy. What was your irrational childhood fear?
Well, my dad's sister lived out in McConnellsville, out in the boonies, and I had lots of cousins there. So we would go visit like maybe once a month. Well, me and my cousins were outside, and we heard this noise, and then all of a sudden we turn around, and there's this boar chasing us. A wild boar.
A boar?
Yes, we ran to the barn, and we was probably stuck in that barn for 40 minutes waiting for that boar to leave so we could run to the house. Then I would have nightmares that the boar was coming up the steps after us in the bedroom.
Okay, that is not an irrational childhood fear. That is a fully valid childhood fear. You literally got chased by a wild boar and locked into a barn because the wild boar wanted to eat you. That is 100% valid. So, that's kind of like telling your significant other that their feelings are valid. I am telling you, your feelings are 100% valid, okay?
Okay.
All right. Kathy, thank you so much for the call. Adam, good morning. How are you?
How you doing, brother?
Good. What was your irrational childhood fear?
So when I was a kid, I lived in Lancaster, Ohio, and our neighbor had a license to own exotic animals. And he had, like, lions, tigers, and wolves and stuff. And so when my dad would make me walk the dog, I would always think that there was one, like, in the woods behind our house stalking me.
Yeah, fresh meat.
Right. But again, just like Kathy, you literally had lions and tigers and bears, oh my, living next door.
Right, that was a rational fear.
That was a rational fear. Those things can escape.
Yes.
And they will and can eat you.
Yes.
So totally valid.
Glad you
fear.
made it out alive. Gosh.
So whatever happened to those animals, do you know?
So I have went by there as an adult, and I'm pretty sure they moved. The cages are still there. It's on Lithopolis Road in Lancaster.
Okay.
But I'm not sure whatever happened, honestly.
To the
I know
animals.
that one of them actually did get out.
Yikes.
No.
They had a tiger get loose one time.
No, thank you. That should not be legal. You can't just have a tiger roaming around Ohio. I'm not in the Serengeti.
Right.
Like, no. Thank you for the call, Adam. I appreciate it, man. Becky, good morning. What was your irrational childhood fear?
Good morning, Goose. When I was a little girl, I wasn't even in school. I was little. My dad brought home one of those, those punch things where you could punch them and they were weighted in the bottom and then they would come back up.
Yeah, the Weeble Wobble. They weeble and they wobble and they won't fall down.
Yeah. Well, this thing was taller than me, and my dad brought it home, and I was scared to death of it. It was Bozo the Clown.
Yes, I remember that Bozo
I had
thing.
one. I beat the hell out of that thing.
Well, I didn't want to touch it. My parents were like, "Oh, go ahead and just hit it." And I'm like, "Oh, no, I'm freaking out." My dad hit it, and he hit it a little harder than what he anticipated. This thing came up and knocked me flat on my backside. So to this day, I don't like clowns.
No.
Yes.
Rodeo clowns are one thing, but clowns in general, no. They freak me out.
That's hysterical. Yeah, because all of a sudden, like, Bozo is backwards on his back, and then all of a sudden he's coming at you at full speed, and then Bozo just headbutts you. Bow! Right in the forehead.
Yep.
Yeah, that could be terrifying for sure. I appreciate it.
Flat on my back.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
You too. Love you, Becky. Have a great one.
All right, Ashley says she was irrationally afraid of the singer Meatloaf when she was a kid.
Meatloaf?
She thought that he looked like a monster.
He does, absolutely.
Yeah.
Thick, do you have an irrational childhood fear?
Jenny Saunders. She was a mean, evil bitch. I'm telling you. This girl was in second grade, and she bullied kindergartners at Robert Louis Stevenson Elementary School in Grandview. She was taller than everybody in the elementary
That's not irrational.
That's a real person. You can't call out a real person like that.
I hated her. I saw what she did to people. It was terrible.
And you were scared of her?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. 99.7 The Blitz.
And now, the 3 things you need to know before you go.
The son of 2 New Albany megachurch founders who has been accused of raping minors is facing more charges. Tom Cassie Jr. was indicted on 2 more counts of rape and 3 counts of gross sexual imposition yesterday. This is in addition to the over 24 similar charges to which Cassie has already pleaded not guilty. Several women have come forward to accuse Cassie of sexually assaulting them when they were children. He remains in custody at the Licking County Jail. People living near a golf course have a higher risk of developing Parkinson's disease. A study published this month in JAMA Network Open found that if you live within a mile of a golf course, you have a 126% higher risk of getting Parkinson's than those who live more than 6 miles away. It's never been a better time to be poor. My gosh. Researchers suspect that the use of pesticides on golf courses is linked to the higher risk. Well, we're just finding out that a Lufthansa flight to Spain last year with 199 people on board went without a pilot for 10 minutes after the co-pilot fainted while he was alone in the cockpit. During this flight from Frankfurt, Germany to Seville, Spain, this happened in February of last year, the captain had gone to the restroom, leaving the co-pilot in command of the cockpit. The report says the co-pilot passed out and then operated the controls unintentionally, meaning he fell on the controls.
Oh.
Yes. However, the aircraft was able to continue to fly stably because autopilot was active.
Autopilot was on. Okay, see, that was what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Granted, of course, I don't think I ever want to be on a plane that is unpiloted for 10 minutes. But at the same time, autopilot is autopilot. And so people in Teslas drive on the highway for more than 10 minutes on autopilot.
Right.
Nothing's going to happen.
Especially, if you're going to pass out, fall on the controls. I feel like you could disable autopilot, couldn't you?
Yeah, that seems like it could.
But I guess the cockpit voice recorder during this 10-minute period of time recorded really strange noises that they say are consistent with an acute health emergency. So the pilot comes back from the bathroom, right? Enters the door code, which triggers a buzzer so the co-pilot can open the door. Co-pilot's out. So this pilot tried entering the door code 5 times, could not get a response. So one of the flight attendants tried to call the co-pilot on the onboard telephone, no response. So finally the captain had to type in emergency code, but when he was doing that, the co-pilot regained consciousness and opened it from the inside. Obviously very ill at this point, so the pilot decided to make an unplanned landing in Madrid. His colleague was taken to a hospital. Everybody's fine. No one was injured. But wow.
That's insane.
I didn't even want to know the story if I was on that flight. Don't tell me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Please don't tell me, because I won't fly again.
Did you land safe?
Yeah.
What happened? We had a technical problem with the plane.
Right, but
that's all I
everything's
need
fine.
to know.
Exactly.
Yep.
All right, those are your 3 things.
All right, here we go. Volbeat's going to be in Cincinnati at the Riverbend Music Center on August 17th. If you would like to go, we would love to send you 800-821-9970. We need 2 representatives right now as Kelly and I are going to go head-to-head once again. We are going to play Beat the Meat for Volbeat. This is how it works. Thick has scoured the menus of chain restaurants. And chain restaurants usually try and come up with something creative, and they all have their own signature sandwiches or burgers. And so you're going to name the signature burger or sandwich.
Right.
Okay.
And we have to identify the restaurant that it comes from.
Oh, boy. All right.
Let's get a couple of representatives. Blitz, good morning. Who's this?
Carl Wood.
Carl. All right, Carl, your choice. Do you want to be represented by Goose or Kelly?
Goose.
Yeah.
That's smart. That's smart.
I'm on a win streak. I won yesterday. So
long streak.
That is a long streak. What is it now? 7-9-1.
Kelly's up 9-7-1.
Yeah, 9-7-1. Okay. Carl, you hang on 1 second. Let's find Kelly's teammates. Blitz, good morning. Who's this?
Good morning, Randa. How are you?
Amanda?
Randa.
All right, Randa. You are being represented by Kelly, Randa. You hang on 1 second. Carl and Randa, ready to be represented as we play Beat the Meat for Volbeat. You name the sandwich, we name the restaurant. Kelly, you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Here we go.
Okay,
are we like in competition? We're going to shout it out? Or is it one you go, then I go? Okay,
No.
Competition. Got it.
Right? Or are we going back and forth? No, we're shouting it out.
Okay.
Should you have to call it before you say the name?
What?
Like
got it.
Say Kelly. Kelly, go.
We'll just
Kelly.
shout it out.
Just shout the name.
Just shout it out.
Yeah.
All right.
We should have thought about all the rules.
Yeah.
I was trying to avoid the ties. All right. First one. The Big Buford.
Carl's. What's that one place?
Hardee's.
Checkers. Or whatever. Rallies.
Yes. Rallies.
Rallies and Checkers are the exact same restaurant.
Yes.
It's like Carl's Jr. and Hardee's.
Yeah.
They're the exact same thing. It just depends on where you're located.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
All right. Kelly's on the board.
Okay.
Club Lulu.
Jimmy John's.
Yes.
No
I
kidding.
ordered the Club Lulu.
What's in a Club Lulu?
It's a turkey, lettuce, tomato, mayo with bacon.
Oh, sounds delish.
Oh, it's one of my favorite
that thing
sandwiches.
Heated up?
Yep.
Oh.
All right, ready?
Let's go.
Bloomin' Chicken Sandwich.
Oh,
Chili's.
Outback. It's got to be Bloomin'.
Outback.
Outback is Bloomin', for sure.
Chili's baby back ribs.
Barbecue sauce.
Okay.
All right, ready?
Here we go.
Bacon Turkey Bravo.
Arby's. Okay, that's not it.
Panera.
Yes.
Hey.
Panera, home of the $20 sandwich.
Boy, I know.
Yeah.
Their food's
between
good, though.
Panera and Five Guys,
Yeah.
dead broke.
Right.
Like,
Dead
that's all there
broke.
is to it.
Yeah.
All right. Ready?
Yes.
Big Cluckin' Chicken Sandwich.
Popeyes.
Red Robin.
Nope.
Okay.
KFC.
Churches.
Nope. Big Cluckin' Chicken Sandwich.
Oh, you said
KFC. I already
Popeyes.
said KFC. Somebody did.
Big Cluckin'.
Chick-fil-A.
Nope.
Oh, my gosh. Big Cluckin' Chicken Sandwich. Burger King. Who has a chicken sandwich?
Since you guys are struggling, I'll give you a hint. It's not considered fast food. It's a chain restaurant. But
Red
it's not.
Robin.
Chili's.
No.
Applebee's.
Yes.
Hey.
We were going to get it eventually.
Eventually,
I
yeah,
didn't know. You
eventually.
just kept guessing every
That's
freaking
all right.
restaurant.
That's all right.
All right, Goose, you need one more to win.
Okay.
Stack Burger.
Stack Burger. Let's say Five Guys.
Nope.
Chili's.
Nope.
Stack
Chili's is
Burger.
coming out left and right here.
Stack.
I'm going to tell you now. I have no.
Fuddruckers.
They don't have one at Chili's. They don't have a signature sandwich.
Oh, you did all the research.
No, not
Smash
Fuddruckers.
Burger.
No. Stack Burger is what it's called.
Well, I know, but Smash Burger's a
All
restaurant.
right.
Oh, I've never heard.
Oh, you haven't heard
Yeah,
Smash Burger?
Burger. We have one here.
Stack Burger.
The Stack Burger, I think you'd get something like that probably at, I don't know, Five Guys. Did I already say that?
You did.
I think I said
We have
every
failed
single
miserably.
one. Wait a minute,
Yeah.
Stack Burger.
All right, you want to move on?
Yeah.
It's Dairy Queen.
Oh God!
Dairy Queen.
No one orders food at Dairy
Yes,
Queen.
they
Yes,
do,
we
but it's
do.
called a
No,
brazier.
you don't.
A brazier burger.
They got good.
No.
I like their burgers.
Oh,
Have you had them?
Oh.
Have you ever had them?
What? Yes.
No,
You
Dairy
have?
Queen's got good food.
No,
yeah,
they
do.
got great ice cream.
Great ice cream,
Get your ice
and they
cream
have like
cake.
a good
Good
like
burgers and fries, man.
No!
Yes.
I agree, Thick. I'm with
Thank you, Kelly.
100%. They have good food.
I would rather order a burger at Waste Management.
Oh, my God.
Okay, well, you go do that and see how your stomach feels.
What's the next one, Thick?
All right. The Galley Boy.
Big Boy. Elias brother.
No.
What's
that? Elias brother.
Big Boy.
The Galley
Big Boy. Is Elias brother.
Galley Boy.
Boy, we are not beating the meat
Yeah, I
on
feel
this
like
one.
these aren't like traditional. This is not like McDonald's or something. This is like a step above.
Yeah. The Galley
Galley
Burger. Long
Burger.
John Silver's. Red Lobster.
No. But I understand why you guessed those.
Yeah.
Sonic.
Silver D's.
Nope.
Fish and chips.
Nope.
Is that what it's called? Captain D's Fish
Captain
and chips.
D. Silver D's.
John, like you're thinking Long John Silver's, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Popeyes. No, I already said Popeyes a few times ago.
This is awful.
It is.
We're moving on.
Silver D's is
We're
the worst thing ever.
What is it?
These nuts.
These nuts?
No, it's Swenson's.
What the hell is Swenson's?
Who eats at Swenson's?
We are done.
Oh,
Who's
you
ever
guys
eat?
got to stop right now.
I know, people like Swenson's.
All right.
One more.
Okay,
really quick.
Kelly.
One more.
All right, one more.
The Beast.
Raising Cane's.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my gosh. Panera.
You guys don't know that one.
Terrible.
Shake Shack.
I'm just going to go
Shake
through these.
Shack.
It's Subway has
Okay,
the Beast.
you won, Goose.
I did.
This is
You want to
embarrassing.
call it?
Yeah, we're
Let's
calling
call
it. We're calling it. This is awful. This is terrible.
I'm sorry, Randa.
Randa, listen, you were never going to win. I hate to tell you this, but I love you so much, and I'm sorry you got stuck with me.
I didn't get stuck with you because I'd have chose you anyway.
I love you, Randa.
Carl, congratulations. We're going to send you to Volbeat. This was 100% an instance of, hey, I've got a great name for a contest. Let's call it Beat the Meat. And then we'll just come up with the game afterwards that failed miserably.
Well, I told you, I found out a lot of places had signature sandwiches I never heard of.
Yeah.
Do you know where the Roman burger is?
Your mom's?
Little. No, that's the roast beef sandwich. 997 The Blitz.
Mr. Hero.
Not so breaking news. The news already broke. We're trying to put it back together.
Yeah, let's get to some not so breaking news. We got a couple animal stories that we're getting into. Animals causing a ruckus.
I heard a ruckus.
Ruckus. The first story coming out of Jicaron Island in Panama. Yeah, researchers have some really unusual video evidence of some capuchin monkeys. Is that capuchin?
Capuchin?
Capuchin monkeys? So
Yeah, I'm not exactly 100% on
I'm going to
that.
go with you, Kelly.
All
Capuchin.
right.
Yeah. Capuchin monkeys in Panama are kidnapping babies that belong to their neighbors, a group of howler monkeys.
Oh.
They are actually going in and kidnapping other baby monkeys. On several occasions now, the researchers have seen young male capuchin monkeys carrying around the infants from other species for days. And then the infants typically die of dehydration and starvation because they have no access to their mother's milk.
Oh my gosh, they're trying to wipe out the next generation.
Yes.
Howler monkeys.
These capuchin monkeys are no joke down in Panama. Apparently, it was a trend started by one capuchin monkey named Joker, who was then imitated by other male monkeys in kidnapping the howler monkeys. And now it's not clear if the males intended to actually harm the babies and have the babies die. Although capuchin monkeys have also been seen actively destructive towards other species. They've gone and destroyed habitats and they've fist fought. Apparently, capuchin monkeys are no joke. Wow.
They're begging for a war. It's going to be howler versus capuchin monkeys.
Is this like the
You
beginning?
can't stand for that, howlers. They're stealing your babies.
Yeah, you're not supposed to let other species steal your babies. That's just wrong.
Well, that makes me mad.
I'm wondering if this is the beginning of Planet of the Apes. Are they going to start taking over? It could happen. I mean, if they're sophisticated and smart enough to know that these are our competitors, so we're going to wipe out the next generation by kidnapping their babies. That's pretty harsh.
Scary.
Our next story takes us down to Costa Rica, where officials are holding a cat, a crime-ridden cat, for trying to break into a prison last week. And the cat was trying to smuggle drugs into the prison.
Oh, jeez.
They captured the cat climbing over a fence with 236 grams of marijuana and 68 grams of heroin strapped to its back. Officials believe the cat was deployed by, obviously, someone else to then hop the fence and deliver the drugs to prisoners inside.
Deployed?
Oh, my gosh.
Funny.
Yes. I mean, how do you train a cat to know who to look for? Like, meow, meow, little tap on the butt, and then the cat knows where to go. They did get the drugs off the cat. It was handed over to animal care and checked out. The cat isn't facing any charges, which is good, because I don't know how exactly you would do that.
Kitten Escobar. I'm trying to come up with a good name for Kitty Escobar.
Pablo Escobar. Yeah,
Yeah.
No, it doesn't work.
Pablo Escobar.
Escobar?
Okay, maybe.
They're searching through the security footage to try and figure out who the cat was muling drugs for. They haven't found anything yet. Here's the thing, though. If you're going to send the cat out in the middle of the night to try and deliver drugs, you might want to pick a black cat, which might have worked. No, they picked a straight white cat to walk through the middle of the night.
I know. Instead of El Chapo. Wait. Okay.
Catpo. El Catpo.
El Cat. Okay. Never mind. Go on.
Okay.
I'm sorry for interrupting.
No, that's all I have.
Okay.
Please continue trying to come up with a name.
I'm going to.
Okay.
Trust me. That's all I'm going to do for the rest of the morning.
All right. That's your not so breaking news. 99.7 The Blitz. I literally just saw a meme 15 minutes ago. Not even a meme, a picture of Slash and Axl Rose on stage. And someone rewrote the lyrics, said, "Take me down to Paradise City where the pies are cream and the ice cream's pretty," I think. Because Axl's kind of put on the pounds.
Oh, has he?
Oh, they had a profile picture of him on stage, the side view.
Okay.
Oh man,
he's gone up and down over the past 10 years.
And
now he's
whatever
again.
Whatever that picture was, he was up. He was definitely up. All right, here's a question: What's the crime that takes place at your workplace? And I mean, because here at a radio station, we obviously all wear headphones, and usually we need ourselves a little adapter that screws into or plugs into the end of the headphones, and it changes the size of the headphone tip from what's called an 1/8 inch to a 1/4 inch, so it fits in, the hole of our receiver here. And people borrow them all the time. They're always missing. They never get returned. So what is the crime that takes place at your workplace? 800-821-9970. Nikki texted in, said, "I bartend special events at the Columbus Zoo. Everyone would accidentally walk off at the bar with the beer or wine opener."
Oh, the openers.
The little pop a topper.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times you keep them in your pocket, or someone will borrow it, and they take off.
Terry DeCaro texted, the good pens at work. Always
the
gone.
Good pens.
Yes.
Don't you hate it when someone takes your good pen?
I've got a good pen that was gifted to me by Thick Rick, and I'm telling you, if it's not here when I come in the morning,
somebody's going to get hurt.
Are you hunting people down?
No, but I will probably throw a mini fit. Where's my good pen? That's probably all that'll happen, but I'll be bummed.
Yeah, okay.
This is a good pen.
Yeah, the good pens.
Yeah.
Good pens are a novelty to have for sure.
Somebody said when their office went remote over COVID, they knew they were going to be gone for at least 6 months, and the office said they probably wouldn't reopen again. So somebody came by with a moving truck, one of the employees, and took a couch, some chairs, and a table for his apartment.
What?
From the office.
I don't think you're supposed to do that.
I don't think so either. That's a big theft.
Frank says, I'm a heavy equipment operator, and people borrow and never return our keys to the machines. Who's taking off with the keys to the machines? You need those. You can't just take off with the keys to the backhoe. 800-821-9970 or 99-700. What's that crime that always takes place at your workplace?
Somebody said in a past job they had an office toilet paper thief. That somebody would consistently steal rolls of toilet paper.
I feel like that's every radio station I ever worked at.
Okay, but I also feel like you're younger when you're doing that because you're really just trying to make it. You're trying to get started in your career, and you just don't have the money.
It's like food
paper.
or toilet paper.
Yeah.
You go to somebody's house, they got the big giant rolls.
Just sitting in the back
what
of the
store
toilet.
did you get that at? What?
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
We used to have a problem with food disappearing.
Yes.
From the refrigerator.
We did.
Of course, most of that stopped when Mo left, but
yeah.
People would other people's food would come up missing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not supposed to do that.
Again, that's a radio thing, man. I don't know what that is.
Capel works at a car dealership and says the keys will go missing more than they should. I heard that when we were at the dealership this past weekend buying Nora a car and seeing that keys don't get put back and they're constantly looking for the keys to the cars in the lot.
Oh gosh, that's frustrating.
Let's see. General contractor trying to do their job without pulling the proper permits. That is illegal. You're not allowed to do that. That's a real crime.
Yeah.
That's on the books
Big
type crime. Blitz, good morning. Who's this?
This is Mike.
Mike, what's the crime that takes place at your workplace?
I got a direct connection to the toilet paper. My brother-in-law works at the SoFi factory, and we still take toilet paper from work.
Oh my God! It's just a perk.
Even though you've got a direct line to free toilet paper, you're still hijacking toilet paper from work.
Yeah.
Is it the good stuff? Is that why?
Yeah, sometimes you get that nice fluffy stuff, but most of the time it's that one ply.
The one ply?
Yeah, still free.
Free's free.
Well, if you get the free toilet paper, at least we know you're using more than 4 sheets and don't have poop palms like Thick does.
I do not.
Wrap it up like boxing gloves, bro.
Yes. Straight up 12-ounce boxing gloves all the way around the knuckles.
You guys in your friggin' oven mitts, man.
I'm telling you. Thanks for the call, man. 800-821-9970, 99-700. What's that crime that takes place at your workplace? We want to hear from you. It's 99.7 The Blitz. We're talking work crimes because when you work at a radio station, the headphone adapter always gets borrowed and never returned. We've all got these little headphone adapters that click on the end of our headphones to plug in, to change the size of the plug-in, and they constantly get borrowed and never returned. So we want to know, what's that crime that takes place at your work? Tristan's on the phone. Tristan, what's that crime that takes place at your work?
So when I was in high school, I worked at Walmart, and there's these portable handheld devices that we would use to do our shelf stocking and stuff. The little batteries on the back. People would take them off of all the other phones and slip them in their pockets and keep them throughout the whole shift, so that when your device died, you then had to do everything by hand and had to just look for it instead of looking it up.
Oh, you can't beep the barcode and see it electronically.
See the location of it. Yeah. And then also people with those pockets on those vests, they're gargantuan. You can fit massive amounts of things in there, and people would stuff snacks in there and would just keep snacks in their pockets while they work.
Hey, sometimes you need a snack.
Dude, you got to have your snackses.
Snackses. Got to have them. Tristan, 11, thanks for the call, man. Blitz, good morning. Hi, who's this?
Hey, this is Aaron.
Aaron, what is the crime that takes place at your work?
So when I was in college, I worked at a undisclosed breakfast place.
Okay, yeah.
So we were, I didn't make very much money at the time, working at said place as a cook. Well, when you're in college, you're partying and don't have much money. And I would go in there at 5:30 in the morning, and we would have breakfast every morning for free. Bacon, eggs, hangover cure. It was
I feel like
great.
they owe you that.
Yeah, I 100%.
Now, is this breakfast place, are there a lot of fights there?
Are there a lot of what?
Fights.
Fights? Oh, no.
Okay.
Oh, so it's not Waffle House, right?
No, it's not that breakfast place. It's
Okay.
more of a home family breakfast
I
place.
gotcha.
but,
Denny's. Okay.
Yeah,
Bob
yeah.
Evans,
Yeah.
TJ's.
Okay.
Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, Bob. Yeah.
Bob
Something
Evans.
along-
All right,
Bob
gotcha.
Evans.
There we go.
Made it
Hey,
through college.
I got one worse for you. Speaking of breakfast, back in high school,
Okay.
it was when McDonald's first started the 2-window system. When you went
Yes.
through drive-through,
Yeah.
you make an order, you pull up, you pay at one window, and then you pull up and pick up your order at the next window. And that's actually where I met my best friend, the Maverick to my Goose, is where we met at McDonald's before we even knew each other in high school. And after
really
working
cool.
together at McDonald's in drive-through, because I would work the front window taking orders and taking the money, and he worked the second window passing out the food.
Uh-oh.
And after working so many weekends serving breakfast, you kind of memorize the prices. And so when you collect the $3.50 for a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit meal, you have the headsets. Hey, this guy has a bacon, egg, and cheese meal. The $3.50 doesn't necessarily have to get rung up into the cash register.
That's smart. That's smart.
So, you know,
that's good.
When you walk out of your breakfast shift with an extra $50.
There you go.
I was not a good child. And I really hope the statute of limitations has already passed.
It's all alleged.
It's all alleged. All alleged. Hey, thanks for the call, man.
Dude, I know what that's like because I worked fast food too, and we got our food for half price, but that wasn't good enough.
Right.
We ate everything for free, and they had the most amazing chocolate chip cookies back then, and they came wrapped in a 6-pack, which were in a box of 12 of those 6-packs. We would take an entire box home.
What?
And just have cookies for days.
Hey, but you can't, like the big delivery box?
Like you're getting
It's
wholesale.
packed. Yeah, it's packed in.
Yeah, there were 12 of the 6-packs in a
How
box.
did you get out the door
Well,
carrying
we closed.
Oh.
This was before surveillance cameras.
Oh
were a thing.
yeah, dude.
The manager didn't care?
Well, he didn't. He was in the office. We one person would keep a watch, take your box to your car. The other person would take their box and throw it in their trunk.
That inventory was way off.
Way
Oh
off.
yes.
Way off.
Where's all the cookies at?
Right, it's 99.7 The Blitz.
And now, 3 things you need to know before you go.
An English teacher at Horizon Science Academy, Columbus STEM High School, has been charged with sexual battery involving a student. Court records say the 27-year-old Jamila Daboubi, dang it, was found in her vehicle with a 15-year-old student. She was reportedly seen sitting on the boy's lap, kissing him and letting him touch her inappropriately. Gross. Police say the boy admitted to having a relationship with the teacher. She has been fired from the charter school, and the school says there's no indication of any other concerns involving this particular teacher. Former Ohio State wrestler and Olympic gold medalist Kyle Snyder has pleaded guilty to a lesser charge after being arrested during a prostitution sting in Columbus earlier this month. Snyder was initially charged with engaging in prostitution, but agreed to plead guilty to disorderly conduct. He had to pay a $250 fine plus court costs and was ordered to attend a John School, which is an education program for those who have tried to buy sex. And Snyder said, hey, I've already attended that program, so I'm good.
John School.
Yeah, I never have heard of such a thing.
That's like
There's a John
that's like
School.
saying I don't need to go to college. I prefer like an internship.
Right.
I've already been hands-on.
A bust of Jim Morrison that was missing for 37 years has been recovered. Authorities say the sculpture, which was stolen from a cemetery in Paris in 1988, was recovered by police during a search in an unrelated fraud case. This bust is 300 pounds. It was placed at Morrison's grave in 1981 to mark the 10th anniversary of the singer's death. But fans immediately started chipping off pieces of the sculpture. They broke off the nose. They covered it in graffiti. You know there were at least 4 wieners on that thing. You know it. And then it was completely stolen in 1988. 300 pounds. This is quite an effort.
Well, let me tell you, as someone who removed and relocated a 500-pound concrete cow
Oh, yes.
from a house to a middle of a lake.
How many hernias did you have after that effort?
Well, we had 8 guys, 8 or 9 guys. So
8 or 9 guys.
there were no
enough guys, and there'll be no hernia.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, the statue, they say, is no worse for the wear. Pretty much looks exactly the same as when it was stolen nearly 40 years ago. So, I guess.
But they didn't say where they found it, or
they found it when they were doing they were searching a home in an unrelated fraud case, and they found it there.
I wonder how many different places this Jim Morrison bust had been. Or was this the guy who stole it, or has it been passed around?
Yes, I guess more details to follow at some point.
Hopefully.
All right, those are your 3 things.
All right, English majors, here you go.
I'm ready.
Oh, is that you?
No, I was not an English major. No.
I was just an awful, awful student.
Really?
Yeah.
You seem so smart.
Oh, God, no. Oh, it's a whole bunch of BS.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm the jack of all trades. I know a little bit about a lot of stuff.
So master of none.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know a lot.
I'm kind of the same.
About anything. And English is definitely one of those things. However, experts have revealed that there is a particular punctuation mark that is disappearing. It's just not used anymore. In fact, they describe it as a once popular punctuation mark.
Yep.
And I did not know this. Do you want to take a guess as to which punctuation mark is going bye-bye and not being used anymore and may disappear from existence altogether?
Got to be the semicolon.
You are 100% correct. It is the semicolon.
Yeah.
The period in the sky and then the comma below it.
Probably because most people have no idea what to do with it.
No idea. No idea whatsoever. Do you know how to use a semicolon?
Yeah, you kind of have to think of it in terms as a replacement for the word and, or maybe a replacement for comma, but. Like if I could say, I love to fish, comma, but Goose loves to play golf. You could just say, I love to fish, semicolon, Goose loves to play golf.
One question.
Yeah.
How the F do you know that?
I went to school. I don't know, man.
How do you know that?
The car is old, but still runs well. The car is old, semicolon, it still runs well. You know what I'm saying?
That's literally the exact description. They should be used between two main clauses that balance each other out or contradict each other, but are too closely linked to be written as separate sentences.
Right.
The cat sat on the mat, semicolon. The mice watched from behind the sofa.
Yeah. Yeah.
How did you know?
I don't know. Some things in school stick with you, some don't. I don't know.
Well, good job.
There's a lot of things I don't remember that didn't stick with me.
100% correct. But yes, like you said, it's just not being used anymore. So there is a good chance that in the very near future, the semicolon is just going to go.
Yeah, well, who uses semicolon instead of just saying and?
I would rather
or
put
but.
and. Yeah, I would rather put and or but.
Yeah, I mean, it just makes sense. That's how people speak.
If you use a semicolon, I picture you with a monocle.
Right.
And a top hat.
Yeah, just because I know how to use it doesn't mean I do.
Yeah.
I never use it, ever.
Yeah, and I picture you when you get offended, you go, like you're just that. You twist your mustache.
Yeah. You harump.
Yes.
You're a harumper.
Yes, exactly. 997 The Blitz.
Now, let's see if we can learn you something. Sit up and pay attention.
Yeah, let's learn you some stuff on a Tuesday morning. Did you know that the seaside village of Carmel, California, bans wearing high heels more than 2 inches in height without a permit?
What?
It was added to the city code back in 1963 to defend the city from lawsuits where people in high heels tripped over uneven pavement. So they said, yeah, no more high heels more than 2 inches. However, if you do want to wear high heels more than 2 inches and you want to get that permit, permits are available free of charge. So you just have to go and... But then do you carry the permit with you everywhere? Is a police officer really going to stop you?
Is this really what we elect people to do?
It was 1963.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
There are weird laws on the books.
Yes, there are. Yep.
That are just still there and shouldn't be.
The most watched episode of a TV series in the 2010s was what, Thick? The 2010s.
Gotta be.
I'll tell you
The
this.
season finale of Big Bang Theory.
No.
Okay.
It is not a sitcom or drama. It's more of a reality show.
In the 2010s?
Yep. And it's the premiere of a reality show. It was February of 2010 when it took place.
America's Got Talent?
Nope.
I have no idea.
Undercover Boss.
Okay, yeah, I would have never guessed that.
38.7 million viewers.
Why?
Super Bowls don't count because they're not a TV series.
What am I missing here?
Well, the reason it got so many views was because it aired right after Super Bowl 44.
It happens every year where some show gets so lucky to be on in that slot.
If you follow the Super Bowl, you're going to have a lot of eyes on you.
Yep.
Here's a tidbit of information for you if you're a fan of Nirvana. When Kurt Cobain and Chris Novoselic first started playing music together, it wasn't to form Nirvana. No, they joined up to start a Creedence Clearwater Revival
tribute
cover band.
Oh my gosh.
Called the Sellouts.
Really?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
They wanted to play a little CCR.
That's where Nirvana came from?
And it turned in Nirvana.
Are you kidding? That's unbelievable.
Yep. The T-shirt was invented in 1904 and marketed towards bachelors who didn't know how to sew or replace buttons. Because back in the day, you had your shirts with buttons and stuff. And if you didn't want to deal with it, you just throw on a T-shirt.
Problem solved.
And finally this morning, Thick, how many mosquitoes would it take to bite you at one time to drain all of your blood and kill you?
13 trillion.
Okay, not quite that many.
No. 2 trillion.
No, not even close.
13 billion.
No, not even close.
Oh, really?
1.2 million.
That's it?
1.2 million mosquitoes. And you'll look like the villain in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade when he drank out of the wrong Holy Grail.
Right.
You just suck in and turn inside out. So hopefully you're never around 1.2 million mosquitoes.
Man, they get fat, don't they, when they suck up that blood?
Man, I hate mosquitoes. I am a mosquito magnet. I hate it.
I don't know a single person who's a fan. I don't understand what their purpose is, why they were invented. I mean, if there's a God out there, why did you give us mosquitoes?
Right. Zero reason besides spreading disease and causing itchy butts.
Positive.
Let me tell you, I remember 2 years ago, we were outside at the lake house just chit-chatting as the sun went down, and I stood up, and all of a sudden, my butt, I was like, oh my God, my butt. And I'm just scratching my butt. I pulled my pants down. I'm not kidding. I had 3 dozen mosquito bites.
Oh my God.
The chairs on the deck of the lake house are mesh. So they were just landing.
Yeah.
They were landing on the mesh underneath.
It's like, look at this free steak
and
right here on top of us.
Just gnawing on my butt meat. I was all up in the crack trying to get that thing to stop itching.
Yeah,
it was
the worst.
Awful. There you go. Learning some stuff on a Tuesday morning, 99.7 The Blitz.